Let's talk about COVID and autism. COVID caused a lot of us to stay home for extended periods of time with the same people, and that allowed us to experiment with ourselves, what our experiences are, what our needs are. So that gave a lot of people the opportunity that they had never had before to just sit and be themselves. And what does that mean? And who am I? What do I need? This is where the autism comes in. Is for me, COVID was like, oh my God, I've been struggling with this for so long, and I had no idea because I never had the time to just sit down and be like, what is going on? So if you've noticed that a lot of people, or even yourself, your symptoms or your traits have gotten harder or more severe, perhaps it's because you had been pushing yourself before, and now you don't have to.
Audio production.
Me boy, yeah. 1738.
People like to reduce sensory issues to simple dislikes, discomforts, fears, instead of what they actually are, legitimately painful stressors. And the issue that arises from this reduction is that people often perceive discomfort, dislike, and fear as something malleable, something that can be overcome through trial and effort. So instead of being willing to provide the appropriate, necessary accommodations needed for a person with sensory issues to function in a capitalist society, people would rather assign blame to the individual for not overcoming it themselves, not willing themselves out of it. And this needs to change because sensory issues so often are just another aspect of how a neurodivergent brain works and deserve legitimate attention instead of being flippantly dismissed.
Oh, neurodivergent household, that must be for me. Acoustic. Oh.
Hi friends, my name is Sab and I'm autistic. And this is a coming out video, of sorts. I'm semi-verbal. This is something I've realized over the pandemic. I have always struggled with communication and I have always had anxiety with speaking. What is semi-verbal? A person that is able to speak, but has difficulties with trying to get out what they want to say. Going non-verbal usually happens along with a sensory overload. I have learned to push through this, as if pushing through a broken leg. This is painful and unnecessary. This is why you might see me shut off in group settings, why I sit there looking anxious or even angry, and why I end up leaving early. I try to surround myself with good people, and I'm very lucky to have friends who are so understanding, and so genuinely kind. So after the pandemic, you may see me using a communication device. Please treat this as my normal voice, and know I'm using this so I can better talk to you and better enjoy our time together.
Thanks, dudes.
Man, you got any big things coming up? I have to buy a new toothbrush. That's not big at all. I have to untangle my headphones, color that mug, do a 600-page essay, get new light bulbs. Then I'm taking the ACT in like 2 hours. Wouldn't you say that some of those things are more important than the other ones? What do you mean? Wouldn't you say that 600-page essay is more important than coloring that mug? They're equal priorities in my brain, okay? Dick.
Guys, guess freaking what? You guys need to get these. You guys need to get one of these. It's called Fingerlings Hugs. Okay, so like I've had kind of like a difficult time with like anxiety and depression and stuff, right? I had like a really bad breakout yesterday. It was blah blah blah. Anyways, my mom comes home today with this thing called a fingerling hug, and she said it's to get me like happy whenever I need a hug. It could give me a hug whenever I'm alone, you know? I was playing around with this thing. It's literally the best thing ever. Oh my goodness. Here it is. You can Velcro it to yourself, and it gives you a hug. It gives you a freaking kiss, too. Yeah, I love it. And we play with it. You throw it up in the air, it makes noises. And then when you swing it around with his arm. Oh, it's amazing! Shake that bitch upside down. You can start screaming.
Everybody's like, oh, ADHD is so cute. Tell me about your special interest. But you have ADHD, and you have a special interest that's just stuck in your cabeza that you can't even mildly talk to normal people about. At least if your shit was like Egyptians or something, people can kind of level with you. My special interest was fucking roller coasters. Fuck, I look like talking to somebody about some corkscrew by Aero Design. Fuck, I look like talking about the top throw dragster King Dakar Millennia Force. Fuck, I look like. It's not even like on this planet. Not even like remotely relatable.
I feel
feel like with autistic people, our sense of humor is very different from neurotypical humor. It's not that we don't have humor, it's just different. Like, neurotypical humor is very, like, based around stereotypes and social norms and banter. Like, why would you insult your friend? I can have banter, but it's less about what my friends do, and it's more about, like, weird, abstract situations I can make up. Our minds are wired to think of loads of different situations from one event. That's why you might have difficulty signing up to, like, questionnaires with, like, multiple choice answers. Like, what if this happens? What if that? Neurotypical people don't. Our memory is also different. Like, we also, like when you're thinking of a memory, you feel like you're there in the place. That's why when you think of a funny memory, you laugh out loud sometimes, because it's like, it's literally playing, like, real life in your brain. And also, like, neurotypical people don't know when I'm being sarcastic, and I don't know when neurotypical people are being sarcastic either. It's confusing.
I just got a weighted blanket, and now I'm pretty sure I'm invincible. Like, I used to have so much anxiety about everything, and it just melts it away. Like, I used to get anxiety about seeing that I had TikTok notifications, because I'm like, oh, what if it's a hate comment? What if someone doesn't like me? But now, the slings and arrows of conservative evangelicalism cannot pierce my impenetrable hide of anti-anxiety compression. Am I gonna get up and do the paperwork I need to do to be a functional adult? Oh, God, no. That still sounds terrible. But your comments no longer have a hold on me.
Hi, friends. My name is Masha, and I'm autistic. And I want to tell you a story about how I got heat stroke in my room, in my bed last night. So this isn't like common knowledge to everyone, but autistic people often struggle with interoception, which is the sense that allows people to know when they're hungry, when they need to use the bathroom, when they're too hot, when they're too cold. Ugh, the sun is setting. And the heat one really screwed me up last night. Now, I'm not exaggerating when I tell you that I was laying in bed watching Hulu when all of a sudden my heart started racing, all of a sudden to me, 200 beats per minute. And no matter what I did, I couldn't slow it down. I thought I was going to have a heart attack. Thankfully, my parents are staying over, and my mom was like, you are burning up. It turns out I had the heat up in my room way too hot, and I had no idea, and I literally got heat stroke. I had to sit with a freezing cold wet towel on my body for an hour to recover.
So non-autistic people love to say that, like, oh, autistic people have superpowers. So what's your superpower? I'll go first. Mine is that I'm a time traveler. I can actually make like hours and hours and hours of time pass by in the matter of seconds if I just sit down and hyper focus on one specific episode of Adventure Time and watch it repeatedly over and over and over again, to the point where I'm reciting the entire script while the episode's going. I could watch the episode in my head.
Okay, this is a super quick one. I've been working on trying to de-mask, be myself, sort of just like go wild with the inner person that's beneath masking for social reasons, right? And I went to my best friend's birthday party last night, and I made a conscious effort to just not mask. It was so liberating, and I felt so refreshed and so fun and so welcomed and loved. Do you know what I mean? I just, the feeling. And it's something that I've been really terrified to do for like, you know, more than like, I don't know, half an hour, 15 minutes, whatever. This was like a full like 3-4 hours, and I just wanted to share how good it felt and how good I'm feeling today.
Accountability tips that I know work because I use them, and I've been a much worse person than you. Accountability should be motivated by wanting to clean up your own messes and to improve your skills for caring for, or at least reducing harm to other people. Self-protection and clemency are flimsy motivators that'll crack under pressure because they envision an endpoint that might never arrive. You cannot expect forgiveness as an outcome of your accountability process. Some people will forgive you, some people won't. No one owes it to you. Look at it this way. If, say, you're someone who has trouble forgiving people who are reaching out in good faith to support you just because you don't like the way they're doing it, imagine how hard it is to forgive someone who's actively being a dick. I like to joke that a part of accountability is learning to shut the fuck up, but if you do that carelessly, it looks like ghosting, so instead, listen twice as much as you speak. Don't apologize for something that you're not sorry for. Apologizing to people with no intention to change is just tricking people back into your line of fire.
Salad mixer, no. Call that a fidget stim toy.
ADHD moves. No thoughts, head empty. Many thoughts, head full. I want to do everything. I want to do nothing. I want to do something, but can't pinpoint what. Hungry. No eat, only hyperfocus. No pee, only hyperfocus. Bounce off the wall. Cannot stop talking. Where's that off one? No talk, only space out. No focus, only distraction. No distraction, only focus. I'm going to clean my entire house in one go. I am never going to pick up my clothes. Never going to put away all of these random objects that are right next to me. Space out again. Ramble for paragraphs and paragraphs, expect everyone to follow what's being said. See paragraphs and paragraphs and not process a single word just by reading it over and over. Doodle or no focus, no in between. Leg bounce, typos. I'm so obsessed with this, I don't think I'll ever get tired of it. Gets tired of it. Has the same feeling about a new thing. No sleep, only internet. No sleep, only hyperfocus. Yeah, that's about right.
So my neurotypical friend like judges me whenever I act weird when we're alone. So I decided to add him along to my group adventures with all my neurodiverse friends. And he felt so like alienated from everyone. And he started copying us as well. So basically we started bullying our neurotypical friend to mask around us.
So, people love to talk about the overlap between ADHD and autism, but I have both, and since I have recently become aware of this, I've realized that they are very distinct for me and are constantly fighting, so I'll demonstrate. Hey, I'm like really overstimulated and overwhelmed right now from talking all day. I just need to lay down in the dark and not speak ever again. Not the dark, turn all the lights on and scroll through TikTok for 3 hours because I can't be understimulated. You know I can't be understimulated. They're also like, so I was in class and this ad popped up on my computer and I didn't pay attention to the rest of the class, but I had to buy these shoes and so I did. They come in next week. I'm so excited to wear them. I'm sure they're gorgeous, but I think they're just going to sit in the closet because I've only been able to wear the same pair of worn out sneakers for the past 6 months straight. And sometimes they're like, what are you doing? Looking up the walk-in hours at the tattoo clinic, why? Getting a tattoo isn't in today's schedule. I'm so bored of your schedule.
Fuck off.
Hello, my name is Sam. I'm an autistic guy, and I'm talking about autism every day this month. Let's talk about insomnia and sleep issues. Insomnia is common amongst autistic people. A lot of us struggle with sensory issues, which can affect our sleep. I personally had insomnia for my whole life, up until 2 years ago. I need everything to be silent and dark. I need to be free of emotions and feel safe. I need my blanket to be perfect, no wrinkles or edges touching me. So I have a separate blanket to my partner. I can't be touched at night while I sleep. I must be holding a specific teddy, and I don't wear any clothes or PJs. I do wear a t-shirt when I'm around people, and when it's freezing. I cannot wear pants, so I wear an oversized t-shirt when around people, to be respectful. Oh, and I can't smoke out or eat before bed. Many autistic people struggle with sleep, which then in turn affects their ability to function well in the day. It's important to create a space and routine that will help you sleep. It's important to find the root of your insomnia and heal through it.
Being a neurodiverse MCYT fan is all well and good until you pick up fucking Carl Jacobs' meow as a vocal stim. Meow. At random fucking times, just meow. Wait. Meow. Meow.
That beauty filter's on way too high. Okay, that's way better. Anyways, so I wonder if any other ADHD neurodivergent people feel this way. But I was wondering if anyone else feels weird when they take off their mask. Fuck, that's not the right way to say that. Like when, you know, you do the ADHD thing where you aren't masking. Like you just literally are acting like yourself. And like when I meet people and they act goofy, I'm like, am I allowed to act goofy right? And it's like literally like a part of my like soul that I have to like tentatively like unlock and like open a little bit. I'm like, this much goof? And based on the energy they give, either it's like, no, way too much goof. And I'm like, all right, roll it back. We're totally normal, neurotypical. But sometimes you meet people and they're like, no, give me more. And you're like, this much? Also, do you like my messy house? This much? And they're like, yeah. And you're like, oh my God. It's weird. I don't know.
Hello, happy World Autism Awareness Day. I'm Sam, I'm autistic, and I'm talking about autism every day this month. Today's topic, special interests and hyperfixation. Special interests are very common amongst autistics. This can be any topic, show, hobby, anything. There are interests and they're special and usually last long term. A lot of autistic get intensely immersed in these interests. We often info dump about our interests, which is giving really detailed info about the topic. Special interests are comforting. They are often ways to relax while overwhelmed or after a meltdown. Being submerged can be a way of stimming for some, or can be how they stim. Hyperfixation is seen amongst many. This is being completely immersed in something, obsessed. This is usually more short term. I can be an obsession. I think this is an amazing quality of autism. Some of the best minds are autistic minds. To be able to be so knowledgeable at a topic, to be so good at what you love, for it to fill you with so much joy is brilliant. It feels good to engage our brain. With our SI, it can make difficult tasks easier. It can make communicating easier, but sometimes it can be a problem. Your SI means so much, it's a part of you, so when it's not there or something happens, it's hard to handle. Or when you're working with your SI, or watching your SI, nothing else matters. You may forget to eat, or not move for hours, procrastinating work.
I will now demonstrate neurodivergence.
Oh my gosh, $1,000. Thank you. Thanks.
Oh my god, I just got into Harvard and Yale and Berkeley. Nice. Okay. So I was just walking them down from the store. Oh my god, dice. Oh my god.
How much are these
Oh my
dice?
god, they have dice here. Oh
are they
my
on
fucking
sale?
god. Oh my god, look at all these fucking dice. Oh my god, dice.
I just remembered this thing I said as a kid. You know, my parents were teaching me the whole you have to treat others how you want to be treated thing. And I looked at them and I said, that is incorrect. That does not work. I told them it should be treat others how they want to be treated. And I think that's just a really good snapshot of what it's like to grow up as an empathetic, autistic kid. I didn't have the vocabulary for it, but I knew that what I wanted to get out of a conversation was always different from what everyone else wanted to get out of it. And when you're autistic and you try to be empathetic in that literal way, it doesn't go well, which is honestly pretty traumatic as a child, because to everyone else you'll always be doing it wrong. And a good example that I thought of is how people think we're really rude when we correct them, but that's literally us being empathetic, because if I was talking and giving some information and it was wrong, I would care more about knowing the right information than someone telling me I was wrong.
Man, it's a good thing that I haven't developed the stim. That would just fucking suck, wouldn't it? Here's a list of scenarios where that stim is not useful. Number 1, presenting in your law class.
Top 3 things that neurotypicals were right about. Number 1, water. Drink it. And I'm talking about just plain water. Nothing else does the trick quite like regular water. Sparkling water damages your teeth over time. Gatorade is a sports drink that only works for people who are doing activity in that moment. And soda and alcohol, do I even have to say you shouldn't hydrate yourself with that? It hydrates and heals the body naturally, which is one of the many reasons that access to clean water should be a human right as opposed to a privatized industry. Number 2, take your meds. I know it's really hard to do it sometimes, but I stopped taking my iron supplements a week ago, and yesterday my foot went numb. Meds not working out for you? Ask your doctor about stopping the ones you're on and going on to new ones. Can't remember if you've taken them or not? Get a pill organizer. It really helps. Number 3, get off your phone and go outside. I don't want to sound like a boomer when I say that, but keep in mind I've been internet famous since I was 18, and I'm starting to realize that it did irreparable damage to my psyche. Meanwhile, this tree will provide me oxygen for free. Thanks, buddy. Your typicals were wrong about everything else. Bye.
No one is ever prepared for what I am about to say. Hey, so how was your weekend? Pretty good. I got a new octopus. I've been buying plush octopuses and then naming them after autistic-coded characters from the Star Trek spin-off TV series Deep Space Nine. That's nice, I guess. Doing anything for Mother's Day? My mom's in a doomsday cult. So no.
For those of you who don't know about antidepressants, let me tell you, antidepressants are not a magical pill that just make you happy. They have trade-offs. It's like an evil witch riddle, but you have to find the witch that is the least evil. I'm depressed.
Yes, well, you could have some Wellbutrin.
Okay, and it'll cure my depression? What else will happen?
Fine. You'll have a headache every day for the rest of it. It's like terrible. It's like a migraine.
Okay, what about fluoxetine?
You'll be so happy, but you'll forget every room you're in. You'll just walk into a room and be like, wow, what a great room. Where am I?
My job has multiple rooms.
Well, get ready to be bad at your job, bitch.
Okay, what about Lexapro?
So tired.
What about like a smaller dose of Lexapro?
Pretty good. Pretty good. Like, you won't want to smooch very much, but pretty good.
I could do that right now.
The pharmacist grants your wish.